What is up, everybody? My name is That Is My Porpoise, and welcome to the first episode of my tutorial on speedrunning VA11 Hall A Cyberpunk Bartender Action, or just Valhalla for short. I decided to do this tutorial when we've been doing a lot of work on updating the route as it's listed on speedrun.com, so just to update that, as well as show general strategies on optimization throughout the route. Basically, it's just a quick run through to show you how this route works. But yeah, so this first video will just be going over some techniques, and then the videos following will just be going over the actual recipes themselves, as well as optimization for specific events and different nights. So, without further ado, the Perfect Service New Game Plus route is always done on a New Game Plus file. I just have one handy. These are all for different routes, but my New Game Plus route is right here, so we're just going to load it up. And the first thing to know about playing VA11 Hall A is that you don't have to click through all this like I'm doing right now. If you just hold down a control key on your keyboard, I prefer left control, it will speed through it like this. So, one of the key proponents of this game is just holding down the control key, and you'll speed through all the text really quick. It's really easy. So, once we get through this chapter 1 screen, we're going to start actually with some other optimization stuff. So, you can either click to dismiss this message, or you can click this go to work straight away, which is what I usually do. So it's either 2 clicks or just a single click, so I just click go to work, and it just goes straight to work. Yeah, that's pretty much it from there. Again, going on with that same theme, you don't have to click, just hold down control, and you'll just skip through all this dialogue. And Gil is going to ask for a Piano Man. So, a Piano Man, just to show it what it is 2 Adelhyde, 3 Bronson Extract, 5 Powdered Delta, 5 Flanerguide, and 3 Carmetrine, all on the rocks and mixed. What does that mean for a speedrunner? Well, what I want you to learn, this is the most important part of running Valhalla, so pay attention. You need to learn those ingredients as key bindings. So, first, all the different ingredients. Adelhyde is Q. Know this one is Q. Whenever you push the Q key, you are inserting Adelhyde. Bronson Extract is W. Whenever you're pushing the W key, you're inserting Bronson. Powdered Delta is the E key. Again, whenever you push the E key, you are inserting Powdered Delta. Flanerguide is the R key. Whenever you push R, you're inserting Flanerguide. And finally, Carmetrine is the T key. Learn these ingredients as their keys and not as their drink names. So for the Piano Man, I generally read that as 2Q, 3W, 5E, 5R, 3T. Again, that's 2Q for 2 Adelhyde, 3 Bronson Extract for 3W, 5 Powdered Delta for, 5E for 5 Powdered Delta, 5R for 5 Flanerguide, and 3T for 3 Carmetrine. Ice is A, so anytime you press the A key, you will either insert or remove ice. That's really important because even after you've inserted ice, you are able to remove it. So if you accidentally insert ice, you want to remove it, and you don't want to accidentally remove it once you've inserted it properly. Age is S and works the same way as ice. And then space is everything else. So if I have any ingredients in there and I push space, it begins mixing. This is used for a strategy called blend skipping, which I'll go over a little bit later. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Valhalla, this is mixing, and once it starts speeding up, it starts blending. Certain drinks are blended, and you don't want to blend mixed drinks, and you don't want to mix blended drinks. So now that you know all the ingredients and the keys assigned to the ingredients in Valhalla, I'm going to teach you 2 of the most important techniques that we use to get through Valhalla very quickly. That's key sweeping and blend skipping. So we're going to start with key sweeping. Key sweeping is what you might refer to as like a meta technique. It's essentially a technique with your hands. So it's one that you need to warm up. It's not one that sort of functions in the game. But essentially, key sweeping is sweeping your fingers over the keys, sort of like playing a piano, so that you can insert ingredients faster. So, a really good example on how key sweeping works is the bad touch. So the bad touch, as you can see, is 2 W's, 2 E's, 2 R's, and 4 T's, an A, and then 3 spaces to mix and then serve it. So normally that would look like WWEERR TTTTA mix, stop, and then serve. We're not going to serve it right now. And that's pretty slow. You're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different motions with your fingers. That's different up and down motions. If you've ever played the piano, or honestly any instrument or even typed, you will know that just pushing a key down is pretty slow versus knowing where your keys are and sort of flowing one key press into another. So I'm going to show you kind of how that works in this game with a bad touch. I'm going to show you quickly first and then sort of dissect my actions. On a bad touch, you key sweep like this. So, as you saw, instead of slowly going through each ingredient, I cycled very quickly from Karmatrine. So I essentially went TREW very quickly, like this. And that allowed me to put 4 ingredients in about the same time that it would take 1 or 2 ingredients in the traditional way. So then when you double that for a bad touch, you now have 8 ingredients in about the same time it would take to do 2 or 3 ingredients. Then all you do is tap T 2 more times, press A, and then serve it. So that's essentially how key sweeping works. Another good example of key sweeping is a Brantini. So a Brantini is 6Q, 3E, 1T, S, and then mixed. So the way that I position it is I put my index finger on the Q, my middle finger on the E, and my pinky on the T. So I sweep through all 3 once, then I just sweep my index and middle finger twice, and then I tap out my index finger for the rest, age it, mix it, and then serve it. So that's key sweeping. We'll be going over how I personally key sweep every drink that I do key sweep throughout this tutorial. There are certain drinks that you cannot key sweep, like a Fringe Weaver or a Sugar Rush. But I will be going over my particular finger layouts, and what's important for you is getting the most comfortable finger layout while still being able to sweep quickly over those keys. The next really important piece of tech is called a blend skip. And a blend skip is, let's see, a Bleeding Jane will be a good one to teach a blend skip. So blending is essentially where you mix twice as long as a mixed drink. So, for example, a bad touch is a mixed drink. So you can just stop right when you start. But if, say, we blend a bad touch, so we let the shaker go until it starts shaking really quickly, if we blend that, it's a failure. So you cannot blend mixed drinks. And say we make a Bleeding Jane, so that's 1W, 3E, and 3R, all blended. So we're going to mix it. Oh, it didn't work. But if we blend it, oh crap. If we blend it and let it sort of go until it's shaking quickly, well, there you go. It's a Bleeding Jane. But that takes a long time, especially if you're using the traditional method of putting the ingredients in. That's 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then starting the mix. However, you can start to mix even when you only have 1 ingredient in. So essentially, blend skipping is putting the first ingredient in and starting the blend, and then inserting the rest of the ingredients. So on a Bleeding Jane, that's just W then space to start it mixing, and then you're going to do your ER, 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 and now it's blending, and so you serve it. So rather than waiting for 7 ingredients to be put in before starting to blend it, you're waiting for only 1 ingredient to be put in before you start blending it. This is even more important on way bigger drinks, like, say, a Moonblast, which is 6Q, 1E, 1R, and 2T on the rocks. This is a lot of ingredients to put in before you start mixing. So the way I personally do it is do a quick ER and then start blending. Then do my 6Q, then just, sort of put them all in as they come. But it's really important to do this because it'll save a few seconds throughout the entire run. And we're getting to the point on optimizing this run where a few seconds are pretty valuable. So that's the important tech that you need to know to run Valhalla. The rest of the tutorials that I'll be showing will be just showing the route, showing small optimizations here and there, and just essentially showing how I personally make drinks. You can also Consult the list made by Fission Prime on speedrun.com for the list of drinks if you would rather learn from a list rather than from videos. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely watch the rest of the videos in this playlist. I look forward to teaching you more of this game. Bye.